to listen closely to what I'm about to say. This is a story about what is taking place today. So this ain't no joke and it could be you, I mean that. You ready? They're a government agency called CPS. That's Child Protective Services if you didn't guess. Their whole line of work is federally funded by a couple of bills passed by Congress. The first one came around 1935 and that was made to help orphans survive. See, there was already protection for the family animal, but for the children, nah, they were on their own. So along came politics to set the problem straight. They voted it passed at SSA 35. Franklin Roosevelt, we applaud. No more kids will ever starve. Fast forward 60 plus years and here come the Clintons. Dirty white trash in the Oval Office set, and the public eyeball was playing with girls of age. But when the lights went down, Epstein was called, and now they became girls afraid. So they got a good idea, let's instead of this taken. So on the cover of Time was a little boy named Gonzalez. No one gripped or screamed. That's when they realized they could take away these kids and no one say a thing. They could flood the doors of all the foster homes by giving caseworkers higher wages and bonuses to compete. They made the perfect storm for trafficking complete. They called it as FAFA, America's Safe Family Act. What a joke. All they did was put everyone on the scope. Now here comes CPS tearing families away, a child a minute on a good day. And as they fill up their pockets and stand by the hope, those dirty politicians was whisked away on the Railroad Express with Diddy and Jay. Now these caseworkers are running around bringing home the bread while families starve. The aid that is taken from 4E isn't quite paced where it's meant to be. Instead of reunifying, to terminate your rights. And it doesn't matter if you're kind or right. The safety plan is the tool that they use to get you to sign your rights of and give your kids away. But they don't tell you any of this. They wait until another day, then they show up screaming imminent danger while you're in the kitchen baking a cake with the kids. With danger are they seeing? The sleeves are rolled up and nothing is leaking. Don't you get it? There is none. That's a word called discretion. CPS used it all the time. It's made for that profession. Don't think you'll reunify the number 12%. This is the odds, so the only thing to do is stop them before they get the chance. Follow these rules, don't let them on the house without a warrant. Second, don't say a D word unless it is my lawyer, sir. Don't try to talk your way out, there's nothing to say, but get the hell out. My kid's not for sale and you're not God, so can you move along? Caseworker, no bonus today. And Mr. Police Officer, please escort her away. And that's all you need.
Psalm 127:3. Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from Him. This suggests children are a precious gift from God to be valued and cared for.
In the United States, a child a minute is taken into DHS, CPS, and so on custody. The reality is their pics are already selected, you just don't know it. Being perfect no longer matters. It's what the adopting families are looking for.
Who is it stealing the children, you ask?
From caseworker to the White House, the buck stops at all levels, just not where it is supposed to be. The services your family needs, we the people have paid for to ensure your reunification. Title 4 says, reunify at all costs. United, we stand means nothing to us when it comes to family values. Children are being ripped away from their families. Parents are reverting to addictive behaviors to cover the pain. The trauma caused by child removal is just being recognized, and the results are atrocious. Termination of parental rights is not healthy for anyone, just profitable for the people enforcing the line.
It's time Washington listens to the cries of our children, the wails of their mothers, and the rage growing in the fathers. These are our children. Keep your damn hands off them. We are coming to act on the behalf of the children God gave us to protect, and you kidnapped.
Protective Services. I would like to let you know that Monday through Friday I host a roundtable show at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, which is in the United States time zones. I say this only because we have teamed up with some very amazing allies across the Atlantic Ocean. They are true spectacles of word warriors standing shoulder to shoulder with us day and night. Speaking out against the injustices they are facing on their soil, they back us up on ours. We are now a worldwide fighters alliance ready to confront these challenges together. We do have the guts for boots on the ground, but right now we are amplifying our voices. We are putting the almighty pen to paper to create a bill that we must get in front of those seeking office in Congress this November. We need people to assist us in getting these documents to their respective persons for review. Sure, we are talking and raising awareness, but now we must take decisive action. Our kids are waiting far too long to be put back in the homes of their true biological God-given parents.
All right. What is up, everybody? It's CPS Punisher. This is CPS Victims Hunting for Justice, Thursday night. Durham. Hey, Vinny, you want to drop the link for Durham? What is going on, people? Hey, when Vinny gets on here, he just told me there's a story. Oh, hey, by the way, there's chats right here. Make sure you guys use this. We love to hear from you guys. Carrie, I sent you a link, too, to hop on the show tonight. But guess what, guys? So a family got their kids back in North Carolina through the courts. Vinny had just told me this. He has the story. Let me see if Vinny has I'm going to pop Vinny out here, and he can fill us in about this. Hey, Vinny, how you doing, buddy?
Good. She's pulling it up right now.
All right, cool. I mean, that's some good news, right? That gives hope for people.
Yeah, that gives us a lot of hope.
You know, I mean, it's not very often that you see those stories. Let's get Durham in here. Durham, how you doing, Durham?
Howdy. How you doing?
Yeah, I know
What's
that.
up, Durham?
All right. We're doing all right.
Good.
I know that we used to like run the island, and island's different, but
So Vinny found a story today that kids got taken home. Herbert, there you are, buddy. How you doing?
no, but actually no.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We got no feedback, so that's good. Herbert, you got anything new for us, buddy? Well, it's Herbert doing Herbert.
Oh, you think that's bad?
I was listening about the Miranda.
What was
It was a
Oh,
show
yeah,
about
what you got
Miranda.
about
It was pretty good.
like smack? That's what
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was a good read. That was a good read.
Off it,
Herbert.
right?
Did you see the show?
Right, and then she
I
went
did,
over
yeah, I
to
watched
birth,
it.
right?
Oh, good. Yeah. I didn't know the guy's name was Ernest Miranda.
the literally
I missed you.
both arms adopted it, right?
Hey guys.
The couples, the party
What is
done all
up?
the police checks and everything.
Who's
right?
talking?
Gary,
So the woman was looking at
it's
the
Durham's
baby,
wife here. We'll put his audio.
Who's talking?
crying too much, right?
There we go. Clip Durham's wife down there. So yes, we're waiting on Vinny to pop up a story here for us. Gary, how you doing?
Fine, how are you?
We're good. Good. I figured we'd get you in here tonight, get a little insight from you, see what you have going on.
All right. Kids probably be yelling in the background.
Hey, it's part of being a parent, right?
Right.
Better to hear them screaming than not hear them at all. That's for sure.
Yes, definitely. That's when you worry.
Right.
Turn all cameras on, please. That's when the neighbors worry too.
Yeah, right. The neighborhood itself is scared.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just waiting on Vinny here to pull up this story. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up on her phone right now.
All right. What's going on with you, Carrie? You got anything going on?
No, not really. Just working on my friend's stuff. We're trying to
where are
exhaust
you at with that?
She's got denied for a further review for the Supreme Court, but the circumstances have changed for one of her kids.
Okay.
They after the appeal was out, he was removed because the fosters asked for 10-day removal.
So they interfered with. They interfered with the. They interfered with the whole shebang.
Yep, but they kept one kid. There was two of them that they were going to adopt, but the youngest one they kept, of course, and then the oldest one that's 14, he's in the youth shelter now.
Now, did you put in that about the foster parent interference in the case?
Tried to. No, we didn't know until after the appeal order came out and it was affirmed.
Yep.
So then we tried to cross appeal it, and they denied it. And then, because that's what they say that you're supposed to do here in my state is cross appeal it, because it's just giving them more information or saying you want them to think about other things or something was aired or whatever.
Yeah.
Denied that.
So Malibu Dallas on his site.
Huh?
Malibu Dallas on his site just put up a writ of review that's supposed to go to the federal courts. I guess it's pretty successful. His site where at his stand store.
Don't you have to exhaust everything state-wise?
What's that?
Don't you have to exhaust everything state-wise before you
here's
do
the thing. Here's the thing. He found what he found, and what he found is the Supreme Court case that states that in these circumstances you do not have to exhaust. You do not have to exhaust things by all measures, because that's what they said when I did my writ of mandamus, saying that I did not exhaust all my options. But there's a Supreme Court case that states that you do not have to. So Malibu's getting some good results in this writ of review, and it's up for. He has it for free download on his site at Stand Store. So I have it. I can send it to you. You can try to do that.
Here we're using AI. We're using legal AIs and Chat GPT, and because we both feel like we're stupid, but together we actually have the complete opposite perspective. So it's good together.
Yeah, absolutely.
She'll think things I don't, and vice versa. But
I found the post.
They're giving us enough tools now legally that we can't. I mean, granted, we're not lawyers for sure, but there's something to be said for their amount of time that they have in the system and everything. But they're giving us enough information with the internet, with AIs, with all this stuff that we as parents are able to weaponize ourselves with information.
Same here, Kat.
Right, exactly. I agree. It's just putting it all together and knowing what steps to take first.
Right, because there's that, and that's the thing about being a lawyer is that they spend all this time and money going into to the schools to know where and how to apply this stuff and make it work effectively. That's the things that we
utilize
don't know.
Yeah, Ashley does got a good AI. I tried it out. I got that post up if you guys want to hear it.
Yeah, let's hear what that says, there, Vinny.
It's this is in Stop CPS from Legally Kidnapping Children. Just left court They granted me full custody. My kids is home 100%.
Wow.
And then one of the girls asked her how, and she said, "I've been doing pretty much everything, but at the same time putting my foot down."
So do you believe God?
So she fought tooth and nail on her own.
Wow. I mean, we should send her an email and try to get her on the show.
No, you know,
I
I used to pray every time.
I can have Lynn
all
try
my
to see
life,
if we can
right?
get her on the show.
But you know, with the two of us, I prayed through a whole.
Yeah, Ashley, you know, that's something that you can do with what the chat GBTs that they have out there. And they do have a lot of law AIs too that do that, where you can ask them to, what arguments is the prosecution able to come out with your document, and so on and so forth. But hey, Miss Cat, are you available to hop on the show with us? Because I'd love to ask you some questions about what you did. She says here, she says that you know, she has all kinds of experience in this field, and she's still lost in her case.
I'm trying to find this post, but I want to read you guys something that my friend found. This is a thing that she did. Fabrication is easy. The fact-finding half of these proceedings is always under the presumption of evidence standard. That's the judge's Wupon standard for a small claims case. Any parent can be made out to appear as an abuser based upon a preponderance of the evidence. There are marks in the child's arm. The child alleged a belt beating. The child physically alleged that the mom is taking the kid to the doctor too many times. Mom is a nut. There is a domestic violence in the house, and the allegations go on and on and on. These three basic areas of human living, sex, drugs, and money. While the fact-finding drags out, the state creates new allegations and then prevails under a clear and convincing standard at the disposition hearing.
Jesus,
and that's within Maine.
That's the thing. It's preponderance amount of evidence means that there has to just be a chance of a chance. Really, is what it is. It's the lowest. Herbert, what is that?
52%.
The lowest.
Ours is state
right,
of Maine,
evidence you need.
The state of Maine is 52%
for preponderance.
For
so
preponderance.
Herbert, in terms of being a criminal case or whatever, what would a preponderance be accustomed? What would that be equated to?
I have to look that up. I'm top of my head.
I know it's a lot higher when it comes to the criminal cases, but in civil cases, it's 52%.
So that means that just maybe, kind of, sort of, something. What is that? So how does that go? Because then it goes preponderance, to clear and convincing, and then beyond a reasonable doubt, right? Isn't that how that works?
Yeah.
And I know that
in criminal law, amount of evidence. In criminal law, we do it beyond reasonable doubt.
Kat, if you want to join us, you can click that link right there, and it will bring you to the cams. And if you need help, we can all walk you through it. It's very simple.
Yeah, she said she can't jump on; she can only chat right now. Let's see. She was raped at 15. My God, it's terrible. I had the maturity of a teenager, and I was a CPS kid, so she was involved in CPS herself. For all the documents and transcripts implementing many judges in my case. Yes, we'd love to have that. I'll send you put the email out there.
You're talking with a bunch of people. Like me and Darren are in Maine, Kat. So we're kind of facing the same kind of issues you are. And yeah, we've seen so much. What you need to do is ask for your Katahdin report. You want that Katahdin file. That will tell you everything.
Hey, Carrie, do you guys have anything like that out there? The Katahdin, the report that like Vinny's been preaching about that we have up here?
No, what is it? Well, we might, but I don't. It's called something
Do
different.
you want me to read it? Read the article?
Yeah, sure.
Would that help more?
Sure.
All right, hold on. Screenshot. All right, so scroll down right here.
Wow. Yeah, Kat, stay with us because we're gonna get with you too. Let's talk with you a little bit more here on just through the chat.
It says right here, software meant to improve Maine's broken child welfare system, reportedly making it worse. Katahdin is a negative effect the ability of child welfare staff to effectively do their work and therefore keep children safe, said Child Welfare Ombudsman's report. Basically, Katahdin is a new AI system that they implemented in Maine, Terry, and this system is failing the entire state because it's not doing the job that it was supposed to be for. This AI was created for the initial phone call when someone called to report you. They were only supposed to use this program that one time. Well, these workers are using it constantly. And because it's learning everything and learning your name, your social security, your date of birth, it is pulling every single record, every single file, anything that you've ever had on your record into this case. And it is telling them if they should reunify or not to reunify. It's on a point scale number.
Wow. Yeah, I'm looking to see if there's any news on it here. Let's see here.
It was posted under. Hold on, I can tell you the channel, Darren. I just gotta find right here. They posted it under software meant to improve Maine's. It's on the Morning Star.
Yeah,
MaineMorningstar.com.
Yep, I see that one right there. I'm trying to see if we have a video here. Let's see here. Because believe it or not, people, whatever you want to think, Maine is leading this corruption with big time bullhorns, people.
Oh, we got Kat with us.
Yes.
Welcome up, Kat.
Yeah, all right, there we go. All right. I decided to go ahead and join myself because it's a lot easier than typing at this point. I'm in the process of court paperwork, so I don't know how this is going to put myself out there and doing so, but
Hey, if anything, maybe it'll help. Who knows?
It can't hurt. Right now, I have a child that is being abused continuously because back in 2021, my child took the stand. I told him, you cannot leave your father's house unless you testify to your own to the own abuse. His brother has been beating on him since he was a child, and DHS was in touch. I had mentioned something, but I told my kid, I cannot take you from your father. I cannot change this custody situation because they're going to sit there and say, my rapist had just told the Judge Rushlaw, that just because I raped her doesn't mean she gets to be a mother while he was molesting his stepdaughter. This is I have the transcripts and I can prove this. But that child's an adult now. My 16-year-old, though, after the fact, said, hey, my brother's hurting me even more. He got punched in the face and hurt really bad, and I went to court. And the judge told my son, if you ask another adult for help, they will go to jail. And if your mother doesn't let you go back to your father's house today, you're going to. And then the guardian ad litem lied on the fucking stand in 2022. It took over 2 years to get to court. My son's 16 now. A different case. My rapist was given custody of my daughter that resulted from the rape.
Are you kidding?
No. And I have everything to go with it.
Wow.
I have all the. I can't get anywhere with it. I was told by Judge Rushlaw that because I didn't like what happened with my older kids, that my son was entitled basically to the abuse, and my son. We had a protection order. We got a protection order for my son against his brother, and then fucking we in Skowhegan because I went to another court. I was judge shopping because I told Judge Rushlaw, hey, you're not doing anything to protect my children or myself. I married my rapist to protect my children. That's how it went. So I told him this, and I have all the transcripts. And he's like, well, you didn't get your way in court with your older kids, so now, no, you're not going to get your way with your younger kid. And he looked at my son, and he told my son, look, if you seek any help from any adults, they're going to go to jail, just like your mother is today, fucking, if you don't go back to your father's. Sorry for the language.
Kat, I can kind of put this out there and, you know, recommend someone, but for CPS wise, I have a new attorney myself. He's out of Lewiston, but he seems to be a fairly decent like attorney. He's pawning through all the paperwork, everything I send him. He's asking me questions on. He's pushing to get my visitations. So his name is Richard Pittman out of Lewiston.
I'll write that down, but my goes deeper. So the district attorney that convicted my rapist back in 2005. So I was pregnant with my second child. My rapist kicked in my door and raped me, and I found out I was pregnant, and I didn't know who it was. When I was 16, I got emancipated first try. I wasn't in school. I had assumed my second child was the same, but they gave him a deal, which was 5 years, not 10 years misdemeanor. That same judge is the one in 2013 that allowed him to say that I was gonna kill my kids and shit, and like on hearsay evidence, like screenshots from my son, the second child that I had, that I thought was conceived through that. His father's baby's mom is just some crazy fucking bitch, and she threw that out there. It sounds
So
nuts.
what started all this with your kids being involved with child protection? Because your rapist said something?
Well, when I was 14, I was deemed incorrigible because I ran away from the fucking. Excuse my language.
No, you're good.
I ran away from when I was in. So basically, I was in CPS. My mother's Hell's Angels. I grew up around abuse. I was in foster care when I was 14. I was molested and physically assaulted and all that all crazy shit. So I ran away, was deemed incorrigible, and lived with my sister, who was a drug addict. And she decided that one night I was going to, she wanted to have sex with the guy that she was with, and she sent his older brother in, and I got pregnant with my daughter. I was raising my niece. This was February 28th of 2004. I was raising my niece, and she wanted that. And my sister's now dead because she was a junkie, and she finally died from that. But anyways, I got fucking pregnant, and then they came back at me. They're like, oh, great. We get her and a baby. Boom, we're going to go for her. You know what? No. Not happening, dude. I was fucking 16 and got emancipated while I was pregnant with my second child. They were not happy with that. Like, I got a lawyer on board. I had my own house. I had my own thing. I was 17 in college with a GED because I didn't make it through 5th grade.
Right.
But I had it all. But in 2007, my rapist came in and decided he was going to take both the kids. The state police made him bring him back, but conveniently, my landlord paid the fire marshal to burn. This is fucking crazy, but my landlord paid the fire marshal to burn down my house.
Wow.
So I didn't have a safe place to be after that.
Right.
My mother's fucking crazy, and my rapist was letting my mother have my kids for visits because I wouldn't.
And the courts were okay with that, though.
The DHS in 2000, I married somebody to defeat my rapist, and he
Yeah.
ended up being a monster and a confidential informant, and I married him, and he was worse. And so
Wow.
when he beat me up, they took the kids, my older 2 kids, and gave them to my rapist, assuming the second one was a product of the same situation. Yeah, same. But it wasn't until I read the court records later that they knew better than that.
Wow.
So, Kat, definitely get your Katahdin report.
I have they did the Clifford order and stuff. I have all
your
this.
discovery.
I've
So you were
everything.
successful. You were successful with the Clifford order.
I have that, yes. But what happened is the ombudsman, because of the domestic, and because the domestic situation when in 2008 when I was my husband beat me up when I was pregnant because I was trying to get away from my rapist. They took my newborn kid after he was born, stopped me from breastfeeding, and gave my rapist my 2 older kids and said, no, the second kid is his without doing a DNA test.
Right.
But it wasn't until later on, 10 years later, that I found out. But when he took my daughter from me, my older 2 kids from me in 2012, fucking DHS decided they're gonna support that shit. And I kept telling him he's molesting his stepdaughter. He's molesting his stepdaughter because he got with this nut who had lost her 3 kids to somebody that was fucking sexually abusing her and her fucking kids. And documented. Again, I have the documentation. And then, so, he got with her, and then, they ended up getting protection orders against me because I was saying that he was touching her kids, which he
So
was.
they didn't even investigate it or nothing. They just let it go by a blind eye.
My daughter was molested in 2013, and they didn't even tell me about it.
Herbert, what do you do if the police aren't listening to you?
Pittsfield, this was Pittsfield, Maine. Pittsfield is not okay. She was calling me, his wife was calling me 3 dozen times a day, and I reported the harassment. I got a harassment notice. Pittsfield PD told me to go fuck off. She tried to run me over in the court parking lot in Augusta. Mind you, I have this on tape, and I also was with a detective at the Superior Courthouse at the time, and I also have the records from that. She tried to run me over. She threatened to kill me in the courthouse. They don't do anything because of the judge. All right, back to that. The district attorney was Everett Fowle that convicted him in 2005, and that was the judge that made up and said that I threatened to kill my kids in 2013 when he filed a protection order against me. And because of that, I had almost nothing to go with to get my kids. Everett Fowle. And then Judge Rushlaw was the one that fucking sealed it when I kept trying to go back over and over again.
Yeah, I've heard about him.
So what CPS is doing to you and what they're doing to you is they're using that they're using the thing against you.
My
protection order.
My kids were removed by DHS after all this reporting finally when my daughter was 16. Okay, so, and then they're like, oh, we're going to take your rights for abandonment of your kids. No. This was in Skowhegan. I fought for 2 years. I was there every fucking court hearing. I had COVID twice. I had all this other shit going on. I had Tom Tilton as the lawyer. And I kept telling him, we need to do something. This has been going on. This has been going on. This has been going on. And I have all the records. So finally I get to the judge, and it's the same judge that found the abuse in my 16-year-old's case, which is a different father.
Right.
So it's the same judge. And finally he's like, well, because I told him, Tom Tilton's not doing anything. He's not doing anything. He's fucking nothing. I need a new lawyer because he's incompetent. The judge's like, you can have a new lawyer. You can have a new lawyer. You just have to have him sign off and say, I won't do it. He wouldn't sign off. And then my daughter turned 18. DHS dismissed the case. DHS dismissed the case because the judge said, there's no reason we can't get her for abandonment because she's been here every single fucking day for the last 3 years, dude.
That's one of the things that they do is the abandonment thing up here. They did that to me. They took away my visits, and then they said I abandoned my child because they wouldn't let me see her. And they're trying to do that. They're going to try to pull that shit on Vinny too. That's like their big rule. That's their big thing up here because you get an ace right to the termination of parental rights. Once you abandon, that's it.
Rush Law told me you're not a fucking lawyer. I quoted every single fucking law I could, and Rush Law was like, no, good. And then and then getting to the point of being like, oh, well, you were judge stopping. No, the guardian ad litem, Jessica fucking. Let me get that out here, right? Oh, I don't even have that sitting in front of me. No, it wasn't. I can't even tell you her name because it's so fucking traumatizing still. But I have documentation from a neurologist saying that the courts traumatized me, and like I have neurodevelopmental autism. Actually, I might actually have, which is explains my daughter's fucking issue. But I've got a bachelor's from UMA. I graduated top of my class with honors, and I got 2 master's degrees with honors.
Good for you.
Well, when they told me I couldn't have my kids back, the only thing I could think of was to go to college. Like, what am I supposed to do? Educate. So I graduated with counterterrorism degree, criminal justice 4.0, scholarly award and everything, blah, blah, blah. And then I followed it up with a master's in psychology. But I have a bachelor's in justice studies, advocacy, fucking whatever. I've also got a good thing with the domestic violence people over here too. Like,
nice.
They call my rapist a fucking psychopath. He punched me in the courthouse and shit. I mean, I don't mean to make this
do anything about that.
About me, but I mean, I have a.
So they punished you for your abuser punching you in the courthouse.
Yes. I lost visits over that. And his wife almost running me over in the parking lot. The Capitol Police are responsible for the courthouse parking lot area.
Right.
So they, between them and Augusta Police, they don't want to step in on shit. This was in Augusta.
Right.
Augusta Police, they're a fucking joke.
Well, they won't do anything. I was raped, almost raped by Augusta Police, and they dropped the charges against me. I can't talk about that. I'm not supposed to talk about that.
They even have you gagged now too. Now, where are you at? Where are you at in your case? Where are you? Do you have active cases going on?
I am working on filing a case against the guardian ad litem because you got a 6-year thing. So I'm working on the guardian ad litem case right now for my 16-year-old because he was told. I haven't been able to talk to him since he was sent back to his father's house in June of 2019. And the guardian ad litem lied on the stand. He said,
you're getting away with that.
I will warn you about guardian ad litem. Most of them in Maine are assistant attorney generals.
Oh, they are.
Yep.
I know. And this guardian ad litem has a fucking record though of not doing the shit, and I didn't realize that until now. And like,
mine's the same way.
They told my fucking son, if you seek help for this abuse, then any adult is going to fucking jail. Like, he was ready to go. Like, I had a broken foot, and they told me my son's 140 pounds and I'm 90 pounds, and I had a broken foot, and they told me I kidnapped my fucking son and made him make up all this shit, dude. He had a broken eye socket and fucking all this other shit from abuse. And his brother abused me when he was 5 years old while I was pregnant with him. Fucking, like, and I got the records for that. I've got, like, and the guardian ad litem lied on the fucking she wasn't even supposed to be there. They changed my address and all this other crazy shit. So I've got 2 cases, and I'm on, like, the trauma. Like, I have to be careful because, like, I've learned with the traumatization, like, that I've dealt with school and stuff.
Yeah, one of my reports is that they traumatized me and caused me CPS inflicted anxiety upon me.
Yeah, I've got full-blown, like, neurological fucking disorder from being traumatized by the courts and by CPS. I mean, they did a number to me when I was a kid, like, before
just that alone, right? Just the things you've gone through alone. I mean, you need to, I mean, you're doing well for yourself, obviously,
I'm-
educating yourself and everything. But you know, you should definitely.
Well, it got down like it got to the point. I am required to, in order to see my older two kids, I was required to give my rapist my mental health records as I went any
Jesus
therapy.
What the fuck?
And I can prove this. And I have, this is what DHS wanted. In order for me to see them, I needed to provide my rapist with my mental health records to show the PTSD and what he was doing. Like I was
The
getting
fact
better.
that you weren't raped wasn't enough to say that you got PTSD. Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Wow, Maine really is fucking corrupt, Darren.
Herbert, what do you do about this if the police aren't listening? If the police aren't listening, no one's listening.
Oh, the police don't fucking give. That's even worse. Like,
I'm listening to her story, but there's some gaps in here because I'm hearing everything they're doing, but I'm not hearing what was your actions that. Okay. When you were first raped, you called the police?
I did not. The police came and arrested me while I was out, and DHS didn't want me, so they made the police bring me back to my mother's house, and I was begging them not to tell her I was pregnant. She beat the shit out of me. I jumped out of a 3-story window, and I walked 13 miles back to my rapist in the cold.
Let's go back to when this individual forced themselves on you. That's after the person forced themselves on you. You're not pregnant yet. So what did you do? Did you call the individual force?
No, my sister, when I woke, my sister was sleeping with his brother who was younger, and it was my niece's birthday, and I was taking care of her, but she got drunk, and I had a few drinks and whatnot, and I went in to go lay down with my niece, and I was drunk off my ass, and she wanted to have sex with him. It was only a 1-bedroom apartment, so she sent him in with a condom and told him I wouldn't fucking know a difference about it, and well, he didn't use that condom, and
did you know he entered? Were you aware of the fact that this guy forcibly entered you?
I woke up and I told him to get away from me, and it was fuzzy, and I did not. I went back to sleep. I wasn't sure what happened, and then when I got up the next morning, I tried to go talk to my sister, and she wrapped her arm around me, and she told me, "Don't worry about it, don't." And she wasn't going to let me go anywhere because my sister's nuts. I'm not even going to try to throw in her bus because she's gone now. But
so
I got out of there when I could.
You were not even aware of the fact that you were being raped.
I wasn't aware of what happened. No, I was trying to get pregnant with somebody else at the time because I didn't think I could have kids. So I wasn't on any birth control because I was raising my niece because my sister was a drug addict. My niece just turned a year old that night, and I was the only one that was taking care of her, right? Taken out of DHS, and they left me alone. And that's where I was living.
So you don't even know this guy had sex with you?
Not just from what my sister said.
At the time it was happening,
no.
You weren't trying. You couldn't fight him off because you didn't know that you were having sex because you were out of it because you were drinking or whatever, right?
I was on drugs and I was drinking. I don't know what happened that night.
Okay. So that's why the police wasn't calling the time of the rape.
Yeah, I didn't do anything about it until after the fact. No.
Okay.
No.
No, that's an awful situation.
How long after the fact did you wait? I'm kind of curious on that.
Well, when going back to it, so I had been pregnant back before. After I lost my virginity, I was with this guy, and I ran away with and did all, and DHS ended up killing my kid pretty much. So after that incident, I was told I couldn't have kids, and I didn't believe I could actually get pregnant. So It was a good fucking 7 weeks, I think it was. I went to the fire department one night because I had been drinking, but I hadn't drank a lot, and I didn't know what was going on. I thought somebody drugged me or something. I couldn't stop throwing up, and I was sick as shit, and I couldn't even walk to the hospital because I was so sick. So I just went ahead and stopped at the fire department and like pleaded them to help me. And I wasn't all that drunk, but I found out that night that I was pregnant, and that's when they arrested me and brought me back to my mother's house, who I hadn't even been with because I was in DHS custody. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then like she's like, "Well, you ain't fucking pregnant now," and she started beating on me. My stepdad fucking pulled her off from me when we were next to the toilet in the bathroom, and I jumped out of a 2-story window and walked 13 miles in the fucking cold back to my rapist. Like, because I knew where he was living. That was the only place I could go. I couldn't trust my sister. I knew what she had done because that night, like I said, I had been dating somebody, and I really, had this notion about wanting to have kids and get away from her and my whole home life in DHS and just have this family because I had been taking care of my niece for so fucking long. Yeah.
So, Carrie, I gotta wonder what you're thinking about all this. I know you're listening.
Trying to mute.
And it's crazy. You also got to think about back at the time. It was 2004, like just barely. But I mean, we had there's all kinds of shit going on back then. Like it's so different than it is today. The laws and shit.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking that your family coerced you not to say anything, that you had to deal with all of that yourself. You were having issues yourself already with a mother that was abusive to you. I mean, you were emancipated at how old?
I was 16, pregnant with my second child on the first time.
Yeah, I mean, you were given a curveball by life for sure. And
I did it. My kids were my whole fucking world. Like, I really did it. I was 17. I was working on a biology degree in college. I had a 5th grade education. Like,
so after all of this stuff happened, you took life by the horns and you just decided to be a mom.
I did. And that was everything to me. Like, that saved my fucking life. Like, that really saved my fucking life. And then, like, when he came in 2007 and took my kids from me, I got tied up. He took my kids, and I was trying to take my son out of the car, and the seatbelt caught around my arm, and he dragged me down the fucking road, and the cops made him bring my kids back to me, but it was never the same after that. They used the fact that I had moved fucking to avoid the situation.
Which was the right thing to do.
Well, I mean, I was moving all the time because he kept finding me. And even during this last bit, when I did find him back in like 2017 onwards, I was stalked, harassed, threatened all around. Like, there's so much evidence. I mean, I have harassment notices against him dating back to 2007, but his fucking wife was doing the same thing, like, to me. I mean, 36 times a day she was calling me in Pittsfield. Police wouldn't do anything about it. I had to go to the Straight Talk and file court paperwork just to get those the fucking call records.
I don't know where my camera went. So when you went through all of that, the police now at this point wouldn't help you, right? Like, so your abuser was just stalking you pretty much.
Yeah, he kept stalking me, harassing me, threatening. He filed a protection order against me, saying I was threatening him, and his proof was pictures that he had taken of the restaurant next door to the current place I had been living at, and I'd only been there a couple months.
Wow.
And he lived 3 hours away.
Right, but you were stalking him.
Yeah.
That's awful. So what made CPS get involved? The domestic violence from it that he's antagonizing you with?
Oh, well, I kept calling them for like a long time. They first got involved in 2007 because well, this is nice. They got involved in 2007 because my daughter was saying that her dad was touching her pee-pee, and I took her in for that, but because her speech was so far behind, they couldn't clearly say that's what he was doing.
Right. Did they do an examination?
I was making it up.
Oh, that's what they.
He wouldn't touch his daughter because I was his victim, so he's not going to touch her.
That was their mindset, the victim's mindset that way. Right. That's terrible. That's so terrible. How are the kids now?
Brainwashed. My son did graduate. He was he was prom in the prom court, which is great. My daughter won't talk to me. She moved in with his brother. Okay, so my rapist's mom left her 7 kids on the steps of the fucking library because her husband was molesting them and he was father of them. So she's actually was living with one of the children that were molested, and the other one that was molested that actually touched a child went through counseling and stuff, so he's not going to touch his kids, they say, because he was a minor and he went through the counseling. So he's got 2 daughters at home and my son, and they're just brainwashed. They're nothing. DHS dismissed their case against me because they couldn't prove abandonment. I didn't abandon my children.
Right.
And that's what they're trying to do to me too. So
I go to every single fucking court hearing, but I'm going after. I am filing the paperwork. I can't. I can only do so much. I can't allow myself to get tripped up in it like I did. I think I failed.
Right, you gotta stay the course. You gotta as hard as it is.
Darren, it almost sounds like she needs to file a writ of mandamus.
I've only got.
She needs to sit back for a minute and get her head clear, because she's had so much stuff happen to her that maybe she's got to work on her a little bit too. Because you have some serious.
You have a serious case that you could go against the state with.
I have a great case and I'm ready to fucking do it, but I can't do it on my own. I keep getting told I'm not a fucking lawyer or whatever, but I also got limited time. I've got like a year left, and I have started. I am going to file all this paperwork, and I keep making noise about it, but it doesn't change the fact that the more noise I make about it, more risk.
What are you looking for? What are you trying to get back? Are you trying to go after them financially? Are you trying to clear your name? What is it that you're trying to?
I want my kids to know that the whole picture. I'm not looking for anything in particular other than to show that this is fucking wrong.
Right. So you want to clear your name and you want everybody to know that this injustice happened.
I want my kids to know the fucking truth. That's all.
Right. Okay, so what are you doing right now, court-wise? Where are you? What are you trying to file? Where are you at? What are you trying to do?
I am at this point in time making complaints against the I'm working on filing with the Board of Overseers and stuff with the attorneys and the guardian ad litem in the case. I'm working on putting all the paperwork together. Thing is, the paperwork they want you to put together, they only don't staple it, don't do this. But the problem is, there's 10,000.
Right. Where do you? Because this is the things that you can't learn without going to school and becoming a lawyer.
I know I have the laws and I know everything and I can present my fucking case. But the problem is, nobody wants to look at this. That's the problem. Family court judges, it's a step up for them. It's a fucking to the next job. This is on my resume so I can do better. That's what they do. They don't fucking care. They just fucking follow the same way, and that's how guardian ad litems do it. One of the Wayne Doan is another. He wasn't a guardian ad litem, but he's representing my rapist. He lied on the stand that my rapist had my kids when my kids weren't even living with him, and nobody looked into the DHS. They refused to even look. In Kennebec County and Somerset County, they refuse to even look at it or look at Newport. Judge
because what I'm saying is this: is they looked at you like you were so off the handle with them that they didn't care about what the DHS did. But even though the reality is the errors of DHS supersedes the flaws of you as a parent.
Yeah, I mean, I've never. There's been no neglect, no nothing on my end
Right.
with my kids. I've never been convicted
You're
of
not.
nothing.
Yeah,
The
you're
one,
not gonna get anywhere in Kennebec County.
no, absolutely fucking not. Not Somerset.
My case is out of Kennebec County, and I
Yeah,
tell you what,
I've,
it's a joke. I even went as far as it might be something you want to do
no,
is to
no.
serve them under color of law, 241, 242. You have the right to serve them that, and
I don't want to sit.
that
I
you
don't want to
can
sit in
use.
jail.
No, it won't put you in jail. Nope.
Oh, they'll put me in jail for one reason or another, dude.
Do you
Like,
see?
And
Do you see the email up here that I put up there for you? CPSV Hunting
yeah,
Justice at Gmail. Write that down. All right, because we have a bunch of people that are commenting too, and we have a bunch of
yeah.
people together that we're working with. And let's see what we can do for you.
Are you considered disabled at all?
I am receiving Social Security for the PTSD from the abuse. Yes.
Darren, couldn't
From
you get
that,
like a advocate through disability?
yes,
um,
you can.
With the legal part of it?
Social Security is like I'm just having problems with Social Security. My
But have
daddy.
you gone to the ADA and asked them for assistance?
I've asked for assistance all around. I've gotten assistance from the main legal legal.
Yeah,
Yeah. You want
Um,
them disability.
no, I've been working with disability for a while, but I have to be careful because I've got so many
Right.
connected.
Well,
But you can also lean on that for the technicality to get help.
I mean, my rapist is. My rapist went as far as I went to go to Canada for lunch one time, and he knew I was going to Canada, and he called it in, and like I had to sit and pee in front of fucking Canadian dude, fucking
at the border
security people because I couldn't, and I'm not allowed to go past the border now because he said I was made up all this shit. No,
right. So we have a girl, we have a lady named Sam that's really, she's awesome. That's why I want you to get in touch with me, send me an email.
Yeah.
Between all of us, we'll do this because we can get Sam to talk with you about the trauma stuff. We can pull together some ideas and use our resources to try to help you come up with a plan and because there's a lot of people that we have that work in the background that you don't see here.
Yeah, sure.
But you do need some help and you need someone to listen to you. And
my concern is just not happening to somebody else. That's
right. It is happening to a lot of people.
I know it
is. You're very brave to go out on this crusade, especially and expose what's going on to you, because it's as much as it's not private, it is a very private situation, and for you to come out and voice yourself like this, to help others is very commendable. So I want to try. I'm sure the rest of these on the show agree that we want to try to do something to help you get this in. So that you can get some inner peace yourself too. So
I just want my kids to know the truth, and I just don't want other people to be hurting from this. Like it's just not fair all in all. Like
it's not fair. What? It's not fair that it's happening to you. It's even though yes, it's not fair for anybody else. It's not fair because you still at the end of the day are worth something. You are a person and you are feeling pain. And you were yourself violated. So it's not just everybody else shouldn't be hurt. You shouldn't either. It's your right to feel that way. Like you should definitely
I agree. I mean, my concern, like I said, my only concern is my kids and other people. Like I stuck through my college because of other people. I don't want nobody to feel what I went through and not have it and not be able to know what to do. Like I didn't know a friggin' thing. And now I do.
I have a question. I have a question for you. Have you been to the Women's Center yet?
Yeah, I've been working with domestic violence people. The certificate like that they make you take with the courthouse, but for the women's side of it, like they know
the women. Have you ever heard of the Women's Center?
The Women's Center in Bangor? Which one?
They have them all over the United States.
Yeah,
it's called the Women's Center.
I'll have to look at. I mean, I'm sure I've probably heard of
It's
it.
it's specifically that. It's called, just like we have Child Protective Services, this is called the Women's Center. Where is the Women's Center, Darren, in Bangor, whatever? It's called the Women's Center.
I'm looking it up right now. Let's see. New England Women's Centers.
The Women's Center.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
That might be that. I mean, I'm sure I have. I must have because I do have the background.
I'm not hearing that in everything you're talking, because you can't fight this by yourself.
No, and I can't. And I've had a lot of people working with me, but they can't either because of who's involved. It's bigger. I've got DAs and attorney generals, and I have the attorney general against me. Well, the previous attorney general, excuse me.
Right.
The current attorney general obviously doesn't care because they're the ones that are following up the DHS thing. Although that did get dismissed after my kid turned an adult.
What are you doing? What are you doing to help you? What help are you receiving to help you? Do you realize you have to get some help? What help are you receiving? Okay, what help are you receiving?
I have a neurologist, and I've had the same medication management doctor now for almost 10 years now, along with a neurologist for close to 7 years now or whatever. I'm not currently in counseling. I am self-employed, and right now, their strategy is just to
Why aren't you currently in counseling?
Because my rapist is entitled to my medical records.
Okay, see, this is why I think it's a good idea that we can hook you up with Sam. Sam's going to be able to protect you all the way around. She won't have anything that your rapist can get a hold of. We can talk to her first, and then that way she could get you going and helping you, and you don't have to worry about that with her.
I've actually been living in an RV now and basically homeless now since 2017. Right. But I've gotten my 2 master's degrees, but I can't do anything mental health. My med doctor and my neurologist will not give up records to anybody because they don't think it's right. They refuse to even give it up to the court, and they told me if I need to, it has to be ordered X, Y, and Z because they won't do it because it's stupid. But I haven't sought help because my rapist has legal rights to my medical.
So you're trying to protect yourself and your own integrity because the courts have given the access to your everything internal to you to this guy.
Are you saying that your rapist has power of attorney over you?
No,
power of attorney?
No, the court record by DHS, because of what DHS said and their recommendations, granted my fucking rapist primary residence of our children, and that in order for me to have my regular visitation every weekend, I need to produce my mental health records to him. And if I failed to do so, then he had the right not to let me see my children.
That would be a violation of the HIPAA law.
Yeah, right. Now it could be, but this was back in 2010. So I mean,
But it also
that is a violation of your rights.
I had to marry him in order to stop the sexual abuse of my daughter. I mean, it's so fucked up. I married him, so I'm in the wrong because I was protecting my children.
I mean, listen, your story it's so sad, and it's so enlightening to know that you are trying to fight so hard for others. I mean, even our friends over here in the UK are standing by you, and they're saying how traumatic this is. So you need to send me an email with your information and everything, and then we will be in touch with you, and we'll start doing what we can do to help you get yourself on this journey and get yourself helped. I know that you're trying to do this and help others because you don't, and that's amazing that you're doing that. But honestly, I think, and you will get the help that you need from us and that other side, but I think first and foremost, we need to take a couple minutes and slow you down a second and make you, get back with you a little bit, because you're trying so hard to do so many things for so many others, and you've lost yourself. And to be able to fight hard and fight right, you've got to be good through and through. So I think that's going to be our first move, is getting you in touch with Sam, even if it's just an hour conversation that you can cry and scream and whatever you've got to do to get it out of you. just to feel better and know that that's not going to be on public record, to know that that's not going to be anything that anybody can access, just so you can have a minute for yourself so that you can just get out what you got to get. I think that's going to be the first thing that will set you up with, and then we can move from there. But you need to send me that email. That's the first step.
Yeah, I'll definitely send that email. I mean, I've gotten to the point, like, I was in fight or flight for so long, and I'm just starting to get out of that, and like now, and I'm trying to take back my life now, but you know, it's still gonna be a while to go. It's
Yeah, it's, you know what, you're gonna have a lifetime of this trauma. It's just so. But maybe, like I said, maybe we're talking with her. There's a couple things that I think I could help you out with also, and assure you that none of this stuff will be of record. So no one's gonna have access to this stuff.
I mean, I don't even care. Like, I honestly thought he would. I honestly thought my rapist would have killed me a long time ago. The fact that I'm still alive and I did not become a drug addict in the process of it all, like, is just, yeah, that's enough. Like, and
that shows your courage right there, Kat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I shows other people they can do it too. It's just, it's not
exactly
easy. Yeah. Wow. Jesus, Miss Kat, my Lord, this is awful. But I'm glad that you were able to get on here with us, and I'm glad that we're going to be able to try to do
a little
something.
better.
I mean, I feel a little bit better, but at the same time, I put myself out there, and I wasn't expecting to talk right now, so there's
Well, things happen. Things happen for a reason. God puts things in alignment so that things happen, and maybe that's what happens. So I'm hoping that we're going to hear from you, and I'm hoping that we get to move forward and help you out. And I'm hoping that in a month or so you're going to come back on and say how everything's cranking forward, and you're so glad that you contacted us, and everything is working the way that you wanted it to.
I hope that this helps other people, step out and say something too. That's really.
Absolutely.
I gotta say, I think Carrie would be a big help to her too, because Carrie's pretty good at what she does.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. You can give her my information, Darren, if you want.
Yep. I do. I will get all that.
Carrie would be a really big help.
I'm your gal.
Yeah. She'll look up laws and everything and get you on the right track.
I have a whole list of laws, but like the court says, you're not a lawyer. You can't quote those laws.
Right.
You don't need a lawyer. You can actually represent yourself.
I seriously have the judge telling me, well, no, you're just trying to pretend to be a lawyer, and this doesn't count, dude.
You'll be surprised how much, once you start working on yourself a little bit, and you're able to let loose and let some of those blockers that you have in you. You'll be surprised how things will fall back into line for you very quickly. You don't seem like you're short of educational knowledge at all. You probably read everything, consume it like like you read it. You have no problem with quoting laws and statutes and procedures. You know them all. It's just, people aren't looking at you they're not taking you as a serious threat. But once we're able to get you cleaned up a little bit and get these blockers out of you and help you, people will take heed to you just even moving around. I trust in that. That's it for a fact.
I know that I've stepped it up, and they're gonna be scared once I can, because the lack of trying to structure the not emotion and the emotion.
Right. Because they're looking at you right now, like you said, fight or flight. They're looking at you as a mess. They're not taking you seriously. But when you go in there and you're composed, you feel good about you, you're put together, you're all of these things, you're gonna be a freaking machine.
Yeah, and Sam is awesome. Sam is incredible, and she's been through it all too.
Yeah.
That's why she does what she does.
I do want to put a reminder out to you guys that Saturday night I'm going to be hosting my show as usual, but it's going to be around 9:00. That's the start time, Eastern Standard Time. So I just wanted to throw that out there. It's going to be a little bit later because, I don't get out of work till 7 that night, and I don't get home until after 8.
Right.
Well, I'm signing off now.
So be in touch.
I gotta work in the morning.
So we'll talk to you there. Make sure you get me that email.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
And thanks
if you lose it or whatever, keep watching the show. Make sure you get it to us some way, because we're gonna help you. You just gotta want to help yourself. That's all.
Oh, yeah. Have a good night.
All right, Kat.
You too, Kat.
All right. Whew. That was a tough one. But that's a girl that, you know, she needs some people on her side, and she needs to know that she's cared for and that she needs to love herself again. You know, she's trying so hard for so many and she forgot about herself.
Yes.
Get her straightened up.
Shot dead by troopers on Scottsville River Bridge.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Darren, did you see
that was
that?
good enough for me for the night. I think I'm ready to wrap this one up. Carrie, you want to do some last words?
Keep fighting. Nobody knows your case better than you do, and love your kids, and they're worth it.
Yes, they are. Herbert.
Yep.
Last words.
Herbert's last words is, you know, you need to learn all about the system, the CPS system, the court system, so you can learn how to keep fighting. And above all, try to learn how to avoid being a target of CPS.
Yes, sir. Vinny.
My last words tonight are this. Never give up. Keep fighting. These are our children. CPS, keep your damn hands off.
That's right.
Right. And I'm the CPS Punisher, so here's this.
With young, inexperienced caseworkers and polluted with bribes, high-priced bonuses for speedy adoption of terminated parents, and judges who don't practice law with the Constitution in their sights, this is a problem.
They take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with that out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division is what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem. Stealing our kids, it's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again. CPS comes along with the mission to protect. The only thing they are doing is cashing in those checks, paid for by the souls of the children. Diagnosed by a caseworker who is still a baby herself. They take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with that out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem. Stealing our kids, it's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again.
who has been torn away from their security blanket, their parents, the ones who stop the boogeyman from terrorizing the nights and curing their boo-boos when they scrape their knees. Now just imagine how they mightest feel when the CPS meant to protect them tears them away from their supposed abusers and places them with strangers who have zero comforting skills. They need to be calmed. They are confused, lost, panicked, and needing their parents, but CPS took them away for the purpose of saving them. The kids don't even know why, and they are told that the parents they attach to no longer want them. What do you think that does? Do you think that this is how protecting children is supposed to look?